Today we're going to install the new Team Z Strutless Wing on our little black coupe here. This is our little project car for the shop here. It's undergoing some changes and we are going to put one of our new strutless wings on it. Our strutless wing kit comes with a strutless wing. This one is powder coated black. They all don't come powder coated black. This is a finish that we did for our black car. It has the wing, 2 spill plates, a bolt-on wicker bill, the 4 braces, aluminum braces that rivet to the deck lid, a hardware kit with the 5/16 rivets, the 632 stainless hardware and 832 stainless hardware. The tools you'll need are a few vice grip type clamps, a 3/16 drill bit. You'll need a 5/64 Allen wrench and a 1/4 or 1/8 inch Allen wrench. I like to use a unibit. You'll need a 3/8 wrench and a 5/16 wrench, some masking tape, a drill, a Sharpie, a tape measure, and a rivet pen. We start by taping the back edge of the deck lid on a coupe or a hatch. We use masking tape. We do this for 2 reasons. First reason is we're going to be drilling for the rivets and the braces. We don't want to scratch the paint. The second reason is so that we can lay out our markings on here and our measurements to show where we should drill for our braces and line everything up. So this is where you need the tape measure and the Sharpie. You measure from the inside of the quarter panel to the inside of the quarter panel. It is 54.5. So that puts our center line at 24.25. You mark your center line at 24.25. Now that we got the back end taped and our center line marked, we're going to lay out our braces. The braces are directional, they're folded. We have a left hand brace and a right hand brace. As you can see, they've got a 90-degree bend in them. The bends go towards the inside, so something along those lines. We'll lay out the first one, the first left-hand brace. It's set up to go in the bottom edge. The first hole goes in the bottom edge, outside corner of the trunk. So you want to lay out your first hole, line it up with the outside edge of the deck lid, and mark your hole. Then once you have that hole marked, you kind of want to give it an eyeball. It's going to look like it's on an angle because the way the deck lid tapers. But what you want to do is you want to look across the top and make sure that the 90-degree bend is nice and straight and flows in the direction that the deck lid, the top of the deck lid or the hatch flows. And then you need to mark the other 4 holes. So we've laid out the braces on the masking tape. We measured from the inside edge of the quarter panel out 19 3/8 inches, and we marked that point, and we measured up from the bottom edge of the deck lid 7/8 of an inch. We did the same on the other side. When we form these pieces here, these braces, they're made of aluminum. When we form them, it gets a nice little line put through it, and we use that line as a guide to line up on that 19 3/8 line. We line that up on there, and then we mark our holes for drilling. Now we've pre-drilled all the holes for the braces. Remember, the center ones go 19 3/8 inches from the inside of the quarter panel to center of the brace. and 7/8 inches up from the bottom edge of the deck lid. It's all been laid out. Now we'll just test fit with our rivets. I already stuck the rivets in there. We put them in the holes and make sure that all the rivets will go in, which they do. Okay. Okay, so now that we have all the holes drilled, I pulled the tape back. I left the center section of the tape, keeping our center line exposed because we're going to need that later on to line up the wing. We have 4 sets of 4 holes already drilled and lined up. We're going to grab one of these braces and we are going to start riveting them on. The 3/16 rivets come with the kit. I've got an air riveter here. It makes the job go a lot quicker if you have an air riveter. If you don't, you can just use a regular pull style riveter. But these things are great. They make the job. I'll get the first one on there. Sometimes tight and pull. Okay, first one's in. All right. Get the second one in there. And pull. Okay, now we're on to our last one here. We'll get it lined up. And rivet it in. Sometimes some of the rivets won't fit into the holes. Once you get 2 rivets in or more rivets in, it doesn't hurt to take a drill bit, go back through the other 2, clean them out, make sure that everything fits in so you can get it all riveted in. Take the last 2 rivets. Okay, now it's time to put the wicker bill on. Okay, now we're going to put our wicker bill on. The wicker bill has 4 slots along the bottom edge. Those are for the braces to go in so they don't interfere with the braces on the bottom of the wing. That is the bottom side of the wing, so the wicker bill goes with that facing towards the bottom. We've separated our hardware, the 632 and the 832s. The 632 stainless button head screws are for the wicker bill, and I just like to start in the middle and work my way towards the outside, leaving them finger tight. Now where the slots are, you'll notice that there's holes too. Those will get drilled later and those will go down through the braces also. So you skip that hole. These are tiny little things, they're hard to get in there. Okay, now that we got all the stainless lock nuts tight, what we want to do is we want to find the center of the wing. It is 56 1/8. So what you want to do is take a piece of your tape, put it somewhere about in the middle, get your Sharpie out, 56 1/8. That puts center line at 28 1/16. Mark center, 28 1/16. Okay, now that we have everything lined up and clamped, we've marked our holes. One thing I like to do if you've got it clamped in and everything looks like it's fitting good and straight, I just like to take a drill and drill the first hole in the strut brace, or the knee brace, excuse me. go straight up from the bottom, makes it pretty easy to get everything to line up. Okay, now that I have the first holes drilled and the second and third ones in on each brace marked, now we can take the wing off and start to drill the rest of the holes. You can remove the wing. You can pull this center line tape off of here now. Check, make sure your holes are on there. And then bring it over to a table and drill it. Okay, well you got it on the table and you got your holes marked. Go ahead and drill them. Be careful that your drill doesn't walk on you. Start out slow. Get it started. And then finish. That's it, it's all done and ready to bolt on. Okay, we have all the holes drilled now. Now you want to grab a handful of your 832 screws and your clamps. And what you do is you start by lining up some of the holes and reclamp. Be afraid to move the wing around a little bit while it's clamped to get these things to line up. If they don't line up perfectly, might have a little burr or something in there. Don't be afraid to run the drill down through both holes. Clean the burr out and get everything to line up. And you want to get as many of them lined up as you can. Actually, you want to get all the hardware in before you start tightening it. Okay, with all the hardware in place, all the lock nuts are on and it's loose. You can see the wing starts to get really stiff now, but before you tighten anything down, you want to make sure that there's no crush points on the quarters. Everything looks good, and then you can go ahead and lock down all the hardware. With the wing tightened down to the braces with all the nuts in, you can see it's pretty stiff. The whole car wants to move. It's plenty strong. Okay, with all the braces, bolts in place, the last thing you want to do is put on the spill plates. Again, those are bolted on with the 832 stainless button head screws. Get them in position. Lock nut on it. Get the emblem in position. And there you have it. Now, just to show you how strong it is. Open the trunk up in this car. Kind of hard to do with a wing on and a parachute, but there you go. No need to disconnect any struts to get into your fuel cell or your water cell. It's a little bit heavier, you may have to strengthen your springs on the inside, but nonetheless, that's it. That's the install of the Team Z Strutless Wing.
Doze.